Welcome back to episode 92 of the Block Runner Podcast. I'm your host, William, always here with your co-host, Iron.
What's going on?
All right, now we're physically back together, dude.
About time, dude.
Yeah.
We got a new location.
It doesn't look new, but it's certainly new for sure.
Yeah, dude. Totally new ambiance, new energy field that we're operating from now. Before we were like pretty much in the hood.
Yeah,
At any moment in time, like, some gangbangers could break through the door and
That's true.
massacre us all.
That's true.
That doesn't happen very often, though. It's just like a horrible thought that lingers.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
But we're in a much safer zone now.
Yeah.
Statistically, I don't know. Who knows? Like the suburbanites could one day rebel.
Suburbanites.
And just decide to wreak havoc. But
yeah,
it's definitely a safer.
Oh,
I never was scared. I'm just saying.
No, but we had some couple close calls too. I mean,
yeah,
there's gunshots.
Yeah, I remember. We were like mid podcast. You're like,
what was that? Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck was that, dude? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe your neighbor's cleaning his broom or something. You're like, nah, dude. I think those were gunshots.
Cleaning his broom.
I'm like, what? Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So
we're out of the hood.
We're out of the hood.
And we're gonna be making a couple of updates eventually, slowly but surely.
We're in that stage right now. Now this is my first time being in here.
Yeah.
So now it's now I'm just envisioning what's possible. First things first, we need a couch so I could veg out on.
Yeah.
Whenever I get fucking tired and lazy, I could just
that's true.
Plop on that bitch, because now we got space for a couch.
Yeah, and we want to put up some NFT art, like physical NFT art.
Yeah.
And then the Ethermon plushies that we have, which are
they're all stored in his dedicated closet, but there's a shelf in that closet, so I got a nice little glimpse of what they'll look like on a shelf.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't know. I guess this is your house, so you're gonna have to determine whether or not you want to build shelves on the wall or just buy.
No, we're definitely. I think we're gonna build shelves just because we have to take advantage of our vertical space. But we're also gonna put shelves on the ground too, like little banisters and
where in here
cabinets. Yeah,
not back behind us though, right?
Not back behind us.
Maybe
just another shelf there.
Some storage stuff for podcast equipment or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and then
we got wires all over the place and shit.
Update some lights.
Yeah, we're thinking about LEDing this bitch, turning it into a cyberpunk wannabe.
Yeah, dude.
Why not, dude?
Blue and purple? Why not?
Blue and purple, those are our colors. So
Teal.
we got that. I got a Halo sword coming in the mail.
That's right, yeah.
Already ready to come. But, it's basically going to be a mock Exoblade.
Yeah.
So the idea is whatever you end up seeing behind us, it's there's some kind of personal attachment to it, right? For sure the Ethermon plushies that represents our whole Ethermon endeavors.
That's right.
And they're just cute as fuck to look at. Hopefully they give us some more. That'd be pretty cool. And if they do, we know where they're going.
We'll be beta testers for the new ones that are coming out.
Exactly. Whether or not they're cute.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, so the Exoblade, I don't know. I was throwing the idea to Will. Maybe we could put some kind of green screen frame behind us.
Yeah, that's true.
And have a constant feed of metas.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, or sponsors or ads or whatever.
Just whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll get crazy with it one day.
Yeah, for sure.
Baby steps, dude. We'll get there.
Yeah. So we got a lot of thinking to do and designing and all this stuff too. So
yeah.
I mean, it'll take time though, but we'll get there.
But it all comes at good timing though, because now, I was talking to Will earlier off cam, dude, we started this podcast. I think, from my perspective, probably one of the worst times to start. I don't know, in the sense that we started at the peak of the bear, dude. Remember that?
The peak of the bear. That's true.
Literally, when Bitcoin was hitting 3,000-4,000.
Yeah, we started February 2019, and I'm looking at the price right now for Bitcoin, and it's around $3,700.
Yeah.
And then our first podcast was discussing whether this was the bottom.
Yeah.
And then you were skeptical that this is the bottom, and I was no, this is it, dude.
No, there was people Tone Vase predicting, Tone Vase is big TA guy, right? He's according to my TA, we are going to $1,000. So, shit like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh fuck, dude, we're going lower. And then it didn't. It went, completely the other way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then that happened.
Yeah. And I remember we were in a podcast with Frankie, and it went all the way to close to 14K.
Yeah.
And that wasn't too long after we started it.
Yeah. Now look where the fuck we are, dude. We got the biggest green candle I've ever seen. Yeah. One of the biggest.
Yeah, we're looking at the weekly chart right now, and it's mimicking what, well, not exactly what 2017 looked like, but I mean, this is week after week closing high.
See, remember though, it's all about perspective, dude. If you scrunch that chart down a little bit to bring like 100K into the perspective.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, let me do that.
Yeah. See if we can get 100K in there.
52,000.
That's like everyone's projected, expected, like tippity top price, right?
We got 90,000, 100,000.
That's it. Right there.
So let's put it at 140 because that's the latest prediction I've seen by somebody.
Okay.
Like this little.
Now it looks a lot more sensible, don't it?
Yeah.
It looks like we haven't even started.
Yeah.
This looks like it looks like what Tesla looked like in 2010. 2011.
Right.
Like $2 Tesla stock.
Yeah, it looks like nothing's happening, dude.
Isn't that crazy? It's all about perspective, dude. Now if we zoom it in, like then we're like, oh man, like correction in ink.
Yeah.
Look at that, dude. So.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. I mean, if once you start zooming out, like it's hard to believe that this thing's gonna go to 100,000.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what the math tells us, dude.
Yeah, I mean, the math tells you we still have retail data, I guess, to support that. I mean, you showed me an article talking about how Ethereum Google search is like at all-time high, which is kind of weird. I guess the ETH 2.0 stuff kind of catalyzed that.
Yeah. Let's do Google Trends.
Yeah. Last I heard, though, like Bitcoin, not so much, which is strange. Yeah, let's just take a look at it.
Ethereum. And let's do the past 5 years.
Okay, so there's definite interest.
There's definite interest. So we're at about 30%, and back in the last time it was this high was December 2018, something like that. No, actually, I can't get a figure here. Yeah, January 2018.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last time it was like at peak interest.
That's crazy. I wonder what people like. Who's finding out about Ethereum? Is it like CNBC is talking about it more, so people are starting to look into it, or what? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just the prices. A lot of people already have like Coinbase app probably installed on their phone from the last cycle, so they're probably all getting notifications about this shit and like, oh damn.
Damn, and then look at the relative from Bitcoin. Bitcoin peaked in, let's say, December 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a 94% to 7% Ethereum in terms of searches.
Wow.
And
makes sense, dude.
Yeah.
But Bitcoin, yeah. See, even Bitcoin's still lacking. So I don't know. All this represents to me is like, I mean, so the retail people are they're getting peaked. I guess. Like you're poking the hive a little bit, but we're nowhere near like euphoric phases or stages.
Well, what I mean? I think Bitcoin passed its all-time high in May of 2017, and so it did peak there.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
and then that's
sense.
When the run-up after 6 to 8 months happened.
Well, people lost interest real quick, right? Like there's a sharp spike. You're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's whenever the previous all-time high got breached.
Yeah, because then everybody was talking about it, right?
Yeah.
News. I mean, everybody.
I think that's always like the indicator. If you could break through previous all-time high, which we haven't yet, but it's like it's teasing
dude,
it. Dude,
it's right there,
It's right there. But once it does, like I think that's like official signal, like a bull cycle. Yeah, like pretty much nothing but up from there.
Yeah, well, so this means that as soon as we break that all-time high, then I guess within 12 months we're going to see $100,000 Bitcoin.
Well, yeah, that means the 4-year cycle theorem is correct.
It's correct, yeah.
You can't fucking debate it anymore at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Until the next one comes around, they're going to be like, nah.
It's not happening this time.
Exactly.
And it happens again.
We're always going to have that doubt and disbelief, dude.
Yeah.
So maybe.
But think about it. The next time, so let's say it does go to 100,000 and then it crashes. It's going to crash to what, 20, 30,000?
Potentially.
So maybe less, 70% loss.
Maybe 10, 15K or something.
Potentially, but damn, that's like 90% loss. It's possible.
That's what
90%,
happens.
Yeah,
that happens all the time, dude.
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah.
So 10 or 15,000, and then from 10 or 15,000 from the all-time low for this cycle is going to go to 1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, man.
Potentially. Come on, man. What, dude? I thought that was the whole point, dude.
Yeah, I guess.
Isn't that what like got
But
you in here?
at that,
It's like $1 million Bitcoin, you know?
yeah. But I guess at that point, like it would have to take longer. I mean, think about the run up from going of like 15,000 to back to its all time high, 100K,
Yeah.
and then from 100K doing a 10x from there.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I need to find. I forgot that link that I sent you guys. I think it was it with Maddie and Frankie?
What was the link? What was in it?
It was like it was the moon math, like real time moon math,
Okay.
but I don't remember what it was.
Oh man, that would be cool to look at.
Yeah. But we can take a look at this for now and see what the nonlinear regression curve is looking at right now.
Dude, we're still in the blue zone.
Still in the blue zone.
Yeah, blue zone's like the buy zone, so these are still like good buying prices.
Yeah.
You know.
So imagine, man, 20. So actually, this is 20,000's over here. So
Yeah,
we're right there, man. This is it.
Yeah, this is it. That's so crazy, man.
That is crazy. Like this is a $20,000 Bitcoin is a good buy. Imagine.
Yeah, it is because you're anticipating. Oh yeah, what's that line in the once it crosses into the red?
This one right here.
Does it give you like a price right there?
Yeah, that's 100,000.
Okay, yeah, 100K. So yeah, that's a solid like 5x, dude, in like a year.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So
Here, I'll mute myself. Oh, I can still hear it.
Where's it at?
It's down there, dude. It's too far.
Oh.
We can't go back, dude. Let's keep going. Fuck that phone.
Ignore the phone that won't stop.
Won't stop. Can't stop.
So yeah, $100,000 Bitcoins right here. But then the next, so man, we're already talking about the next cycle, $1 million. I mean, essentially what we're trying to do is get perspective.
Yeah.
Because by the time the next cycle happens, $100,000 Bitcoin is a good buy.
Yeah, I mean,
which is crazy.
If this 4-year prophecy shit maintains through this cycle, I'm never gonna doubt it again. I'm just gonna use it like clockwork, dude. I'm just gonna use it as my foundational backbone tool to like understanding what's gonna happen.
So
next in the
bear
market.
season is called accumulation season at that point.
Oh yeah, big time. Like we should be much more like wise to this market, you know.
Yeah.
We if everything follows trajectory, I don't know. I still have my doubts, only because like I see what's going on in the stock market and shit. Like, there's no way it's sustainable over there. So I don't know. We'll see what happens if I'm still waiting for that moment. Yeah, where crypto is acting independently of what's going on in equities. You know.
Yeah.
Which we haven't seen that era yet. That to me is like the big.
I wonder if we're going to see that though, because.
We have to, dude. Because like stocks aren't going to keep going up forever. At some point, it's got to correct.
But stocks represent psychology, but also manipulation. Because remember, the government is also buying equities too, right?
Yeah.
And so they're just pumping the price of everything.
Exactly.
And potentially buying crypto too now.
Yeah.
I mean, I shared an article in our Discord where the U.S. is now getting into competing with China on hash rate for Bitcoin.
Yeah, because they notice that China controls the majority of it, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, fuck, dude, we fucked up. We slipped somewhere by letting them, get the headway on this space.
I mean, they got infinite funds, so they could just like buy them out. Like essentially just overbuy, mining equipment.
Yeah, of course. It might become a battle of that.
Yeah.
Where nations are competing against who owns. Dude, that might be where like
World War III?
We're $1 million Bitcoin territory around that.
Yeah.
If that's the reality, where there's like a global actual gold rush for this shit, where.
Yeah, I think it's only to make sure that there is no manipulation of Bitcoin by maintaining like the majority hash power.
Not so much manipulate. It's just control.
Yeah, control. Because I mean, even if you had 51%, I mean, it'd still take a shit ton of energy and a shit ton of money to like rework the blockchain.
Yeah, but if it's worth it from a monetary perspective, they'll do it.
Maybe from like a governmental like country perspective, it might be worth it.
Of course. Like I'm sure they're having their internal discussions like, so what is Bitcoin? And then they're talking about it.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, there's potential for this thing to eventually, like, destroy our
Oh, for sure.
the value of our own
Yeah.
currency.
I mean, we can't. I mean,
They're not
as dumb,
stupid people there.
Exactly. As dumb as the government is, they're not that dumb. They have to know what's going on.
Yeah, whether or not they think it's going to happen, the fact that there's potential there, and they know that they can't really do anything to stop it other than like outlawing it. And then if they outlaw it, then they're just putting themselves like against the wall against like countries that don't do that, like China and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they might, I don't know. It's going to be a race, Like it makes sense. It's a positional race amongst the elites in the world.
Right.
That's what all of politics is. Geopolitics. That's why you got countries battling over like scarce mineral resources. You got that's why China's all in Africa, right? Because there's tons of resources there that they can claim.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they understand the game, dude. That's why there's like a space frontier. Apparently, there's like a potential space race. Like who's gonna claim ownership of space?
Yeah. Speaking of space, Elon just surpassed Bill Gates as the second most richest man on the planet.
That's fucking nuts. But predictable.
Is Bezos still number one?
Yeah, he's got to
even after the divorce.
Oh yeah, dude, he recovered like instantly.
Oh, dude,
from that.
wow.
He's higher than what he used to be. Like
even after the divorce.
Yeah, dude, he's chilling hard.
Damn.
But this is what I'm talking about, though. Like, dude, yeah.
It's crazy. I'm sure at one point Bill Gates is like, "Man, I'm the richest man in the world. Nobody's gonna ever surpass me. I'm like way ahead."
I wonder if he ever thought that.
And then he got surpassed.
Yeah, it's because he started like slacking, dude.
Yeah.
Not slacking. He started focusing on like actually trying to save the world. Like.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was sort of his like retirement phase.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like slacking. Like he
true.
did all that he needed to do. Like,
yeah.
Why keep trying to like make my life goal is just keep accruing more and more wealth? Yeah. Like, what's the point? Like. Yeah. I can actually do something with this wealth. And he did. And now he's like enemy number one. Everybody thinks he's like the devil.
The conspiracy.
Yeah, trying to like put chips in our brains and shit in our bloodstream.
Yeah, and Elon's the actual one doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Chips and brains.
He's revered.
Yeah, and he's revered. That's right.
That's a crazy world we live in, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts.
I wonder who could hate Elon. I just don't understand. I guess you're going to have haters no matter what.
Yeah, a lot of people do. Because he's like really trying to talk down like the severity of COVID and shit like that.
So yeah, that's true.
People get.
I don't agree with that at all. I think even if COVID isn't as severe as like a flesh-eating virus, you still got to take it seriously. I mean, there's still people dying, and you have to respect that. Now, I mean, I guess the real debate is at what cost do you respect it?
Yeah, they make a good argument. Like they make a good argument that you could actually present data of like the impact of like economic downturn has on people's lives. It could outweigh the impact of like a rampant COVID like virus spreading around, meaning like but people killing themselves from depression because they're all losing their jobs, things like that.
But what's the threshold? 1% people who get infected die. Well, what's the threshold where you actually have to like take it seriously, legitimately? Like the economy has no bearing as to what decisions you make because the virus is so bad. Is it 2% death rate? Is it 3%? Like when?
I don't know.
At what point?
Yeah, that's the debate. You
know what it is? I think if COVID had some like visceral look to it, I think people would take it more seriously.
What do you mean,
if you had if you have COVID and you started bleeding from the eyes,
oh fuck,
people would take it seriously. They'd be like, I'm not going to work. Or I'm not going shopping. I'm nothing.
Of course.
And all it takes is like some visual aspect to a virus in order to. That's why zombies is so attractive.
Yeah.
It's because it's like there's a visual threat.
Yeah.
If zombies was just like any regular looking person that decides to bite you out of thin air, it's not the same thing. Even though that could be a cool movie onto its own.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just I guess if more like young people were dying from it or something. I don't know, dude. It's a monster of a debate.
Yeah, I think this is like
I think we fucked up. We should have taken it more seriously early on.
Agreed.
But like there's too much. That's the problem with our current like cultural. I don't know, maybe government structure. Like might be controversial to say this, but like communism has its benefits.
Yeah.
You know, like
in situations like this, for sure.
Yeah, where there's like centralized control, where like, you know, they could force people to do certain things. In a Goldilocks situation like this, it pays off because you can like force people to do what's right.
Yeah.
In a situation for the greater good, even though people might not agree with it or understand, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
See, in an ideal world, you wouldn't need communism for people to realize, hey, let's take this seriously and let's just stay pat in the house for a month and let this thing die down. But freedom, man.
Yeah, that's.
I think people misunderstand what freedom is. Like, we have the freedom to go outside and like go shopping and then go to a restaurant, but we don't have the freedom to drive on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah. Right.
We don't have the freedom to go kill people.
Yeah, we don't.
Right. So we have already built-in restrictions on our freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And when you have a pandemic, you have to apply the same restrictions for the benefit of everybody.
Yeah.
Because it's not fun when it's your family member that's dying.
Exactly.
And it's because people are not taking it seriously, potentially. Like, you don't know how many people you could have saved had everybody taken it seriously.
Yeah. No, it's clear as day. Like, our country is having more difficulty than any other country, I think, controlling this thing.
Yeah.
Which is like...
For sure. I mean, we look like a low-level, you know...
Yeah, low-tier society, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like you're saying, like a higher-tier society, would
knock this
be able
out.
to handle this, like, much more efficiently, you know?
Yeah.
So there's some kind of flaw exists within ours, you know, as wealthy as we are, like from a capitalist perspective.
Yeah. I think ultimately we're in a society where everybody knows that there's winners and losers. And if you know that, you act accordingly. And so it's every man for themselves.
It's true.
And so there's no incentive to take care of your family, right? Your collective family, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, we already lack like the communal connection, right? So
yeah.
What's adding like one more piece to ignore?
This makes it interesting, like the conversation about, you know, what if aliens do come and like pose a threat to humanity? Mm-hmm. I think not only because they have advanced technology to arrive here in the first place, but if we had equal tech, we would lose because of our inability to cooperate.
Yeah. That's the biggest motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
Inability to cooperate.
And it's funny because you know who does cooperate, like from a country standpoint? The science community. They're collectively going to the moon and then to the Mars and like sharing discoveries, and like it's doesn't matter if you're from China or you're a communist country or whatever it is. Like, they share that information because it benefits science.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, well, I guess that's in a tangent.
Yeah, we're like on a pretty far one right now.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, ultimately, this started from like where Bitcoin's going to go and like the implications, like on a societal level.
Yeah.
To kind of the effects of psychology with a pandemic, and because the pandemic brought Bitcoin down to its all-time lows for this cycle, which was around 3,000 and change.
Yeah.
And then
it's unbelievable.
Like nothing.
Like, it's so crazy how like these things, there's always like catalysts in either direction that seem to find their way into like existence at like the perfect moments, like according to these charts, like you go back and you observe the previous cycles, you could pinpoint moments where like the price of Bitcoin, spikes up or spikes down, and then you kind of like try and retrace those movements into future cycles, and you're trying to anticipate like when is the bottom going to hit, when are these, top run-ups going to hit, and then you can always like associate some kind of like catalyst to them.
Yeah,
they always seem to fall in line like perfectly.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know.
But you know what it is? I think those catalysts are not necessarily the catalysts themselves, but it's aligned with the run-up of the price. Like, this recent rally is not due to a Senate talking about how good Bitcoin is for a store of value.
Or PayPal, right?
Or PayPal, yeah. I think...
But it's like we were all waiting for something to attach like a run-up to, It's like a collective conscious effort to like push up the price.
Because think about it. PayPal is a consumer-level product. Mm-hmm. And then if you go search Bitcoin on, retail searches, it's nothing. It's not even registering. So what is causing the price hike? It's just it could be the math,
Yeah.
right? It's scheduled. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, that's what made me skeptical about this ETH 2.0 shit.
Well, skeptical in the sense of people searching Ethereum?
No, it's just like the timing of it was perfect, dude.
Oh. It
Like,
could have been scheduled release date for 4 years.
Yeah, I just wonder if they had like internal, like I wonder if it was maybe like in a more finished state earlier, and they have these internal conversations like, when's a good time to actually like officially release this stuff? Like, oh, maybe we should wait until like we have confirmation of like the next bullish cycle, to kind of like, I don't know whether to influence like a catalyst in price, or I don't know, it just makes more sense that way. I don't know if that's how they think.
It could be coincidence, but I mean, if I were at that round table, I would be, if we can kind of release this right at the peak of like gaining that interest again, then I think that would be a smart move. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if I think Ethereum and the developers, I think they're set up to not worry about like prices and all that.
That's the only thing that keeps me from like really thinking that's what's going on here.
Yeah.
Because then the other flip side of that is just pure coincidence that, their development took 4 years to complete. And like, it just happened to coincide with like, Bitcoin touching its previous all-time high, confirming like bull cycle is here.
Yeah.
Like it's just a happy coincidence, right? That's just how cool life is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Things just happen to align.
It's a pretty weird coincidence, if anything.
It's just a timing thing. And then there's that, and then because we're always trying to attach. I remember we used to talk about all the time, like what's going to drive the next cycle, because we knew what drove 2017. It was the ICO boom. Like, I mean, independent of Bitcoin, it looks like Bitcoin does its own thing every 4 years, no matter what,
right,
according to data. And it's still following this expected trajectory. So, but the actual boom, I think, came from altcoins in 2017. I don't know. It was just like a residual effect, I guess, of Bitcoin. So, but now that ETH 2.0 is out, I don't know. Maybe this means like, I don't really know what this means yet. We haven't seen like the effects.
Yeah.
Like,
so let's talk about Ethereum 2.0. So that, from the article that I read, it's essentially the result of a long process of updates to Ethereum, right? There was like previous to this update was Constantinople, I believe. And it all leads to Ethereum becoming proof of stake instead of proof of work.
Okay.
And to participate in this proof of stake, you have to put up 32 ETH, which is, I mean, if you watch any YouTube channels from the popular crypto heads out there, they're always talking about 32 ETH. And I think it came from, staking 32 ETH into their smart contract for proof of stake. Mm-hmm. So I thought, every time I heard 32 ETH, that's the functional equivalent of having one Bitcoin. But I guess it didn't mean that. So
no, it's more like that's the staking power you need to operate a node.
That's right.
So
which 32 ETH is not a lot of money.
It kind of is nowadays. It's
it is now.
That's like 15 grand or something, maybe even more than that. It might be like 20 at this point.
But I would think that if you're going to be running an Ethereum node, that you would need more than like 15, 20 grand.
Yeah. Well, you will in the future. Yeah, 32 Ethereum is going to be like $100,000.
Yeah.
Once ETH in the thousands.
Yeah, because the proof of stake only works if there's something at stake. If you're a bad actor in a proof of stake model, and they discover that you're a bad actor, then you lose your stake.
Yeah.
Right. So
you need to put like some serious weight in, or you're hoping you set this arbitrary number, I guess, to reflect that risk, I guess. I don't know. Right. So that you behave accordingly.
That's right.
Yeah. To benefit the whole network.
Which is not a bad model. And it's in the interest of reducing the energy cost to run proof of work. Mm-hmm. And I think it's more secure, and just because the incentives are aligned. And I think the incentives are aligned anyways in proof of work. It just takes a lot more resources to run a blockchain.
Yeah.
And I guess the speculation is it's not really necessary.
Yeah, it's definitely the end of that era. It seems like,
Yeah.
I don't anticipate more proof of work models coming out in the future and like getting adoption.
Yeah,
Doesn't sound like.
I agree. It's too much of a uphill battle
Yeah.
to make it sustainable, really.
Yeah.
Because then somebody could just, with enough money, be the majority hash rate for this proof of work, and then it fails. Then it's like centralized and.
Well, that's where Bitcoin is in its current state,
Yeah,
apparently.
with China kind of dominating right there.
That's true. The same could happen, I think, in proof of stake, couldn't it?
But
It
but
just
the thing
requires
is,
money.
Bitcoin is so large from a point of, even if you have 51% control, it's still way too expensive to manipulate the blocks. So now it'd be different for a smaller blockchain, right? It wouldn't cost that much because you're not Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so that's what Ethereum 2.0 is. What does it mean functionally for like dApps on Ethereum? What does it mean for like gas fees? We don't really know.
Yeah. I don't know,
Because the idea is, so gas fees goes up because there's congestion in the network.
Yeah.
So the whole point of Ethereum 2.0 is to reduce that congestion, but does that mean you have more highways to operate on, more lanes in the highway? Or, I mean, ideally, that's what that means, so that you have more transactions going per second.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we're going to find out pretty soon here.
Yeah. So I imagine it's gonna definitely bring like some energy or some revitalization, I guess, into the smaller sectors of the space that really suffer from high gas prices, like DeFi and our own NFT space.
Yeah,
there was like a total halt because the congestion got too out of control. To where like I was spending close to $100 per transaction, dude. It was absurd. I can't believe I actually did that. And like looking back on that, that's like stupid.
Yeah, but I guess the losses of not making that transaction may be worth it.
Well, yeah, the speculative, loss, like
the opportunity cost.
There you go.
Would compensate for that.
Yeah, that was during the peak of the DeFi bubble, so
which lasted about a month.
Yeah, so I guess the speculation is we should see a return of this stuff, right? Maybe new protocols taking advantage of that, coming up with, I don't know, new products. Just what is it next that people are going to FOMO into is what I'm saying. Like, just like they did in 2017 into ICOs and whatnot.
Right.
I mean, I guess we already got a taste of it. It's DeFi. DeFi was never never touched by the retail investors, right?
Right.
This DeFi run that we just saw like a few months ago it was so niche and like a very small community.
For sure.
Even though there's a lot of money getting pumped into it, none of it was like retail money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in ICOs, a lot of it was retail money. It was people making money on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they were just looking into like new altcoins to put their money into. So yeah, I'm expecting just like a DeFi bubble 2.0 basically.
Yeah, I totally agree. I obviously, I don't think we're done with DeFi. I think this is barely the beginning.
Yeah.
And this little bubble that we call a bubble is not even going to show up on the radar pretty soon after this bull run takes off.
Yeah, the DeFi community, they're just going to come out with new new hype projects, new ways to bring hype back into the space and like, to bring the speculation back. And I guess like this ETH 2.0 is going to accelerate that, give it more, literally more gas,
more
to
more
execute
fuel.
it. Yeah.
So yeah, I totally agree. I think Ethereum 2.0 is going to make the difference in making dApps more sustainable. Otherwise, it's not gonna last that much longer.
Yeah.
Unless you have like such a high in demand dApp that these fees don't really make a difference. Like, for example, Sushi, like they had 500 million staked in a day.
Yeah.
Like at that point, gas doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. So we need to see shit like that happen all over again. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we got NFTs on the horizon too.
Yeah. So yesterday we had a conversation with the CEO of Splinterlands with Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting. I mean, it shed a lot of light on how people are thinking about NFT games and all that. And I think overall, the realization that it's not a realization, more like a confirmation, is that blockchain gaming has to revolve around the players making money.
Play to earn.
Like that is the point of blockchain gaming.
Yeah.
There's no other point. There's no gameplay. There's no like evolution on like how to shoot somebody in a first person shooter with blockchain.
No.
It's all about those assets and getting a return on those gains.
Yeah. I agree. I really like their model. Obviously, like everyone's trying to chase like the Axie model, I guess nowadays. Maybe not chase, but understand what makes Axie so impactful.
Yeah.
As
I don't know if they built their game based on like what they saw in Axie.
No. I'm not saying they did, but I think they're kind of emulating Axie now. Like Axie is coming out with the land cell, and now they're coming out with the land cell. But Axie didn't innovate the land cell, obviously.
Decentraland did.
Decentraland did, yeah. So these are all like pieces, and that creates. I don't know what. I mean, to get down to the rawness of it, I mean, most likely it's just the funding mechanisms for these.
Oh, absolutely.
These companies, to make money, because a lot of it, including Splinterlands, I don't think any of it's like actual developed product yet.
Yeah,
they're just raising the funding through the land sale, and then they're painting a vision of what the metaverse that they're creating is going to look like. I guess.
Sure.
I hesitate to call it a metaverse. I don't know if it's like an open world experience, or from what he told us is like you're going to be able to use your monster NFTs to like forge and discover resources and whatnot, which all sounds cool and great, and that's what people want. These games like Axie and Splinterlands, they come out with like a base set of NFTs, and then they just keep adding on to the world that they can exist in, basically.
Yeah, what I like about their architecture is that they sort of control the supply by allowing people to combine their cards.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, so you can get like a level 10 card if you combine 550 of them together.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a deflationary aspect to their gameplay.
Yeah,
which supports the whole ecosystem of play to earn.
Yeah, if you want to become like a speculative holder of those assets,
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I got from that discussion.
And not only that, I mean, we learned so much. This was a very good conversation. It's on our YouTube channel. If you're interested, definitely watch that video.
Yeah.
But another thing that we learned was that they're using the Hive blockchain.
Yeah.
And they're doing like hundreds of thousands of transactions. Millions of transactions.
From what
day,
I saw,
potentially.
yeah. From what I saw, somebody linked like a Hive tracker type thing, like, top dApps on the Hive blockchain. And I think this Splinterlands was throughputing 1 million per day, And the reason for that is because like literally every move I think you're making in that game is like a blockchain interaction.
Well, I think. I don't know if every move is, because the game is automatic. So you basically play a card game where the game is to strategize better cards than the opponent, just like any other game would, but the game sort of is automated, so it does the attacks for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you win if you have better cards than your opponent. So there's not like a turn-based like battle mechanic, anything like you're used to with like Hearthstone or Gods Unchained or anything like that.
Yeah.
But once the two cards are set and the play begins, you can just skip the little animations and see who won automatically.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to like wait there for the 30 seconds it takes for a game to take place to see who won. So think of it as a computer. You have a sort of cards on one hand, cards on the other, and they have like rules to each card. So you take those two sets, combine them into this battle mechanic, and that you know who's gonna be the winner. So I think that's what gets logged onto the blockchain. But we'll have to take a closer look as to why you would need this information on the blockchain in the first place.
Oh,
like why?
That is always a question. Like
the assets being on the blockchain, 100%.
That's bare minimum.
Yeah, that makes sense because that is the valuable asset that your players are trading.
Uh-huh.
But logging this stuff on the blockchain, like battles. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Now, they probably don't even do that in the first place. It's probably just people just trading the assets. Now, doing a million trades.
Yeah, I don't think so. It can't just be that.
Yeah.
It's got to be more. I remember him saying like a lot of, the moves are logged. And I know there's games out there some of these blockchain devs, like in their ideal vision of like what a real blockchain game is like every move is literally like a registered, on the ledger. Like I remember seeing a game, I think it's called Taurian.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Taurian. It's like a harvesting type game where you're on some planet and there's resources scattered throughout. And I think you start out as like pretty much like a bulldozer, like some kind of machinery.
Yeah.
And then you just you set the rally points, I guess, for this machine to move and to like find its location where it's eventually going to start like excavating the zone looking for these resources. So and I remember seeing the gameplay early on in its development. Maybe I'm sure it's progressed since then, but like it was literally like you're watching this thing, like you see the rally route, but it takes a while for it to actually move from from location to location. So you have to sit there and wait for this thing. Each movement like it has to confirm.
Sure.
And I think this is before they created their own blockchain. I know they created their own blockchain.
What's it called? Taurian?
Taurian.
How do you spell it?
Taurion.
Okay, Taurian IO.
Yeah, and the blockchain they made, I think, is called Zaya. Yeah, there it is, Zaya. Xaya. It's on the bottom right. Yeah, get rid of that. Right there.
Oh, Xaya.
Yeah,
Zaya?
I believe the people behind this game are the same ones who were developing that blockchain, which is like a purely gaming specific, blockchain.
Interesting. Official partner Ubisoft.
Oh, very nice. I mean, looks like a pretty cool game. And you know me, man, I've always been a fan of like, any kind of like resource gathering type game mechanic. Like I've been saying like that's a big thing Decentraland like has potential for. I mean, we have an open world with tons of space. It's just we have to figure out a way how to inject the valuable scarcity of resources into that world.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking for some gameplay, dude. Like, why aren't they showing anything?
You probably have to go to YouTube. I mean, that's probably like the trailer.
Okay, let's check this out.
Okay.
It was the year 2251 when it became clear that Earth was...
Uh-oh, what happened?
No, I'm just gonna skip through because it's 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
End up close by, in the same sector.
Like they're not showing any gameplay. It's just like
no, this is the lore.
Dangerous wildlife.
It's a pretty hot lore though, dude.
From another planet has been
for sure.
I think you're disrespecting this Taurian game, dude.
No, I want to see some gameplay, dude. Like this is cool coming up with a story and everything, but
look at that Duke. Dude, something big is happening in Taurian, dude. You're not interested?
You know what I'm seeing is a PNG over a city. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, you're right.
But I don't see any gameplay. So I want to understand like what is a blockchain transaction for a game that needs to be logged on the blockchain? Because does it need to be verifiable by somebody that you move a position? Like why? That's the fundamental question that I have.
Yeah. I guess so. If it's like a truly decentralized game, right?
I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean,
that way, if there's ever like disputes among like the players in the community and stuff, it's not like you have to go to some company, right? And like, hey, handle our dispute. Go into your database and like try and find this moment in time where like this event happened, right?
But let's say,
and then you have to trust that company that they're actually giving you like the proper data.
Okay, so let's say you can look this up on the blockchain. What are you going to do about it?
Well, just handle your own disputes, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what that means. You're going to have to build some type of like governance protocol where you can actually like execute on disputes. Maybe like they're
yeah. If
I guess the idea is like there should never really be disputes, right? Because all the data is like public.
Yeah.
So everything's final.
If you know about Taurian or you know about what we're talking about and we're missing something, let us know in the comments.
We're definitely missing something. We're missing a lot of things for sure.
We've had this debate amongst ourselves on what needs to be logged on the blockchain as a game creator.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if we have an answer for that other than the assets themselves, which is clear. But logging any transaction like that in the blockchain, I don't know if that makes sense. Now, unless you're trying to make a game that kind of runs itself, like there is no server that's running,
Mm-hmm.
and you're depending on like the Ethereum virtual network to run your game, perhaps makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the goal. Maybe that's
I think
the goal.
that is the goal. I think those.
But
the
then you're
people
using the Ethereum virtual network that hosts DeFi.
Well,
hosts
that's the
$1
point. That's why these people who are actually they align with this like philosophical direction of the game of blockchain gaming, they don't use Ethereum. They create their own. These guys had to create their own blockchain because they realized early on
it's like
Ethereum's never going to host this type of activity. You know?
Yeah.
So you need like very specific blockchains.
Then you have to depend on whoever's running that blockchain network, and then they have to basically run the game forever, right? You have to assume that they're going to last forever.
Well, like the network, right? The network validators or whatever consensus or whatever.
Yeah, because then you have to make sure
have,
the consensus mechanism that these block producers are running, they have to be aligned. They have to have always an incentive to keep producing these blocks. Otherwise, they'll just mine or produce some other blockchain blocks.
Yeah.
You know?
So would you categorize Decentraland as like part of this camp? Because like we had a conversation with them recently.
True. Yeah.
And one thing I took up, like when I say with them, I mean like some core guys, some core team members, you know, not Esteban or Ari.
Yeah.
But like the core team members, you know, that get shit done, I guess.
Yeah.
And I definitely picked up on those vibes. Like they explicitly told us like the reason why things move kind of slow in Decentraland development is because their main priority is making sure everything is decentralized. You know what I mean? I think they align themselves with that philosophical direction. They want true blockchain game experience where, you know, I don't think it's going to get to this level, but whatever they think like a truly decentralized metaverse looks like.
See,
that's where they're headed.
I kind of can see what you're saying. So
yeah, like they could have gone the route of like a sandbox type thing and like made it more of like a commercial experience. Like only thing being logged on the blockchain that's decentralized really are the assets, right? Yeah. I doubt there's any of this like peer to peer type shit going on.
Definitely not.
You know, because an entity like Sandbox or in others, they're more focused on, you know, the user experience, you know, not so much.
Yeah, you make a good point. I think that people are underestimating the value of Decentraland by a wide margin because, like you're saying, the world will exist as long as there's Catalyst servers that exist.
Exactly.
And you could just run a Catalyst server just by going to their GitHub and running it.
Yeah. So that's what they're banking on. They're banking on like a future reality where, like, they don't need to exist. You know, it's truly decentralized, right?
Yeah.
And
dude, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal, and it's a slept on feature because
it's not sexy.
It's not, and it makes everything much more difficult.
Yeah, it does
because they're experimenting in that realm,
dude,
in that aspect, and it's a lot more.
That's a good point.
A lot more friction, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So people like us who are trying to use their platform and develop on top of it. That's why we had this meeting in the first place.
Yeah, but you know what? We don't have the same requirements upon ourselves to make everything decentralized because it's harder, and there would be no development progress if we made everything decentralized.
If we had to make our own Catalyst nodes and stuff like that, and whatnot.
like all of the metas are being hosted by like IPFS, and like to load a meta onto your scene would take a while, and then there would be no gameplay because everything is like slow. You couldn't have a first-person shooter on running on a Catalyst server. You just well, I mean, I guess you could. It just makes it more difficult.
So that's interesting. So we're taking the other approach, obviously.
Yeah.
We're kind of like discovering ourselves here.
Yeah.
In real time. We're definitely, I mean, I align with the whole.
Again, our assets are will be NFTs, but we believe in that. But the actual like gameplay doesn't necessarily need to be on the blockchain.
Yeah, I guess that's important. It's something definitely to think about a lot.
Yeah. yeah, I mean, once we have like infinite resources, then we'll take this like topic like way more seriously.
Yeah.
Like in terms of implementation for sure. But until we do, I mean, we gotta run this like as lean as possible.
Yeah.
But I wanted to shift gears and talk about the Corona Zombies event that we just had. Dude, as a matter of fact, we need to be choosing winners.
Oh shit.
Dude, what are we doing?
Yeah. I guess now's a good time to segue into that. So yeah, we had our first PvP experience. Started
Yeah, let me bring this up.
Started about 4 or 5 days ago. But yeah, we cranked it out like in a week, basically. Or Oscar did, Corv.
Yeah, he did.
Decentraland really liked it. That's what led to this conversation.
Yeah, he did the PvP in like, I don't know, 8 or 9 days.
Yeah, basically. And it was very well done and very reminiscent of like, most shooters out there, but there's a couple of limitations that need to be addressed to make it even better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a meeting happened with the Decentraland team over that kind of stuff, and yeah, so some enhancements are coming in the future for sure, and some other things that we probably shouldn't talk about yet.
Yeah.
But we will talk about once time permits, I guess.
Okay. So we're gonna try to put this together as quickly as we can. Random.org.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the first prize was?
The Arrow
was
Guard.
The Arrow Guard.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first place was Alt F4.
Alt F4. Yeah, man.
So
Oscar and I double teamed him on the PvP game, and it took the both of us to take this guy down. So this guy's legit. And he spends a lot of time playing first person shooters, and he really liked the game.
yeah,
I mean, as crude as the game is right now, he liked it.
and he gave like really good feedback on like how, because he's trying to translate his FPS experience and like letting us know like what he feels needs to be improved upon,
Right.
to make it feel like a legitimate FPS.
Right.
So that's good. And so if you guys are playing these things, that's the whole point of why we're hosting like weekly events, basically, is to get feedback from the community. Usually each event is like an implementation of a new feature for the
Sure.
game. So it's like most of the time we don't have that much time to really test ourselves. Like it's like by the time Oscar's done, it's like we got a couple hours till the event rolls out. So you guys are pretty much doing all the testing for us and having all the fun. So if you guys are playing and participating and like, earning some metas and not metas, some wearables, feedback is appreciated.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Big
Yes,
time.
absolutely.
It's really helping.
Okay, so let's do this. All right, so we got random.org opened up on the browser. It's going to be, so there's 19,
So this one,
18
the
contestants.
contract for this one was what? To get 50 kills minimum?
50 kills minimum, and then you're entered into this raffle.
Okay.
And so let me bring up the winners here.
So we had a pretty good showing. We had about like 100 people at least show up. And I think like 70% of those people actually started killing people.
Yeah.
And then like 20% actually finished the contract. So
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. This is like with no like Decentraland marketing, essentially. This is all on our own.
Yeah.
Like people just showed up because, they like the idea.
Yeah, and wearables. And like this is like a breakthrough gameplay mechanic in Decentraland, like a first person shooter that's real time and like accurate. And
Yeah.
dude, this is,
It's
I
fun.
mean, we're going to make this thing bigger, but man, this is like a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, let's pick the winners now. So we're gonna do 2 through 19, and we're gonna do this dirty style.
So we got 5 rolls, right?
Yeah. So 5 rolls. The first one is gonna be the regen aura, and let's do this. We're gonna generate.
Good luck.
And number 7, who is
Weebar.
Weebar.
Dude, I think he's been winning a lot. Dude.
Yeah, he has.
Killing it. But that's, hey, man, you deserve it, bruh.
Okay.
You've been showing up.
I should be recording this somewhere, but I'll have to rewatch this. So Weebar.
Oh,
Okay.
snap. We're not recording it?
No. I mean,
The screen?
no, I'm recording the screen. What I'm saying is I should be writing this down somewhere.
Oh,
but
shit.
I'll
Okay.
just record it. It's fine.
Okay.
So we got the open source next, and let's regenerate. Number 2, Funzer Seifu. Look at that. Good job, man.
Did good getting second place.
Yeah, 210 kills. That's 210 people in Decentraland killed.
It's a lot of massacring, dude.
It is.
It's a lot of violence, dude. Bringing violence to Decentraland.
All right. Next one is going to be the HoloLens. And let's regenerate. Number 11, Manamania, another winner.
Nice, dude.
Dude, this is another one for this guy.
Yeah. You guys are getting lucky.
Okay. Next one is going to be the exosuit.
All right, this is a big one.
Yeah. Number 16. His name is 102.
What a name.
Damn.
Must be a droid, dude. What if he's a bot?
Yeah.
What if he's that AI you're talking about?
That's true.
You know?
Okay. Well, there we have it.
That was all of them?
No. And last one is the Exoblades.
Exoblades, dude. My favorite.
Number 9. We have number 53.
Holy crap, dude. Another bot, dude.
Dude, what is
Who are
going
these
on?
Bots? Well.
So they got 51 kills and the other bot got 50 kills.
Yeah.
And these are the two numbers in our list. What are the odds, dude?
Yeah, I wonder if they're the same guy. He just really likes numbers, so he is like numbered accounts. I don't know. Who knows?
Damn. Okay.
Whatever, dude.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah. What's fair is fair, so congrats to the winners.
All right.
Yeah. If you have any disputes with the result, take it up with random.org, not metazone.io.
Yeah. Indeed.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, we're nearing the end of this type of giveaway structure. You know what I mean? Like, very soon, the only way to obtain these wearables or any other like NFT or any other, I don't know, reward incentive that we build into these events is going to be paid access, essentially.
That's right.
These contracts they're not designed to be free. Like, the whole point is you pay for a contract for the opportunity to, obtain something more valuable than what you put in.
Yeah.
Which is these wearables. And they are valuable. I just saw what's it called? I just saw a Regent or a sell yesterday on the open market on OpenSea for
like 2K or something.
No, it was like ETH. It was like it was $150 worth of ETH, which is not bad.
So it's like
that's a lot, dude.
0.2.
Yeah, it was like 0.2 ETH.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? Like originally these were going for like $100, so they're like going up in price. Like people are spending more on them, so.
Well, they're being minted slowly, so.
Yeah, of course. So maybe over time there's more demand for these things. I don't know.
So we have to distribute these wearables to 2 different sets of events.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't think we distributed wearables for the previous event.
Oh, really?
We got to do this time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So apologies to y'all who had to wait, but they're coming. We promise.
So yeah, they'll be sent out in the next day or 2.
Yeah.
I think there was another topic I want to touch since we have about a minute or so. But I can't remember what it was.
What was it in relation to? Decentraland, Ethereum.
I think I don't know if it was Ethermon or Corona Zombies or NFT weapons. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, we have a lot of.
Well, I guess the whole district thing, right? I guess we talked about it already, but
yeah, which one? The Game Junction district thing?
Yeah, Game Junction. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Game Junction if you watch this.
Yeah.
You're a pioneer, dude, whether you recognize it or not. I'm sure you do, but
yeah,
we're going to keep building off of this momentum. You know what I mean? But a big thing is, for sure, we got to deliver these NFTs.
Oh, yeah. So I think that was it, is that we're still working on those NFTs, right? This is, it's a big endeavor for us because it's not just an NFT that we're letting people claim. Right, we have to update MetaZone to recognize, hey, you have an NFT in your wallet that is called Corona Zombies or the Block Runner. It's like, oh, now you're allowed to deploy, because you have this NFT, you can deploy it on your land. And so all that functionality, that logic needs to exist within MetaZone.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only that, that's like the foundational tier functionality logic in MetaZone. The other function that needs to happen is that creators need to be able to mint these things. And then we have to put in how many you can mint. And then every time you change the price of your meta, it's going to be a blockchain transaction. And Like, there's all these things that we need to account for in the overall larger smart contract for MetaZone that we need to account for. So again, our strategy is let's build everything out that needs to be built out, and let's get the feedback from the community. And then once that feedback is in and we get everything implemented and tested, let's take that functionality and put it into a smart contract. And so with the addition of the districts, I mean, that adds new wrinkles that we need to account for in that same smart contract.
Yeah.
So, like,
it's just hard to determine, I guess. Like, when is that cutoff point? We're like, all right, like, we kind of know the potential features of this platform. So, like, now let's just basically paint it all in ink, like permanent ink, right?
Pretty much, exactly.
So we're still trying to discover, like, you know, the limitations of the platform itself, I guess.
But again, I want to reiterate that we're exactly aligned with everybody who wants these NFTs. We want them as much as you do. And we want the MetaZone token as well, just because, I mean, there's a lot of implications in that, in supporting the community. And, like, I mean, that's what we should be doing. All right, this is a blockchain, right? We gotta look like blockchain.
Yeah, look and operate, and like we need
function.
It's definitely everything is community driven. So yeah, the tokens act as the vehicle to get the community involved, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, get you guys actually represented in like the future of this thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Right now it's just us.
Yeah.
But in the future, that's not how blockchain projects, operate.
Yeah.
It's all community driven,
absolutely,
built and everything. So
absolutely,
without the token, that's not possible. Because there's no incentive to do any of that.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense.
Yeah. And shout out to the Decentraland team. These guys, they're
working
hard.
Super nice guys, man.
They are.
It was cool to actually finally meet them.
Yeah.
Like, not just like some interview we saw on YouTube from like years ago, like actually talk to them one-on-one. It was cool.
Yeah.
It definitely brings more like,
more desire, more
to work alongside them, right?
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It's like, man, I finally feel like we're actually working together.
Yeah.
And not like we're working against each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
which is cool.
And they like what we're doing. They know, they agree with us in the sense that persistent experiences is what's going to get people to stay in Decentraland.
Yeah.
And they agree that events is just sort of like a stopgap, just to get people to like get introduced in Decentraland. But it's going to be the burden is on developers to make persistent content.
Yeah.
And that includes monetizing, right?
Yeah.
And then the whole play to earn thing, right? We have to get players to come to Decentraland to earn.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's the burden again is on the developers to make that possible.
Yeah. And it's not just games. There's going to be a lot of different ways to earn.
Yeah, games to us is like probably the lowest hanging fruit in terms of being able to make it easy to understand that you can play to earn.
Yeah.
Right. There are going to be other ways like stake your I don't know coin in Decentraland and then you earn passive income. Like,
yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
that's up for the community to figure out how to bring new value mechanisms into the metaverse.
Yeah.
But yeah, ultimately, like the formula should be as simple as like if me as a MetaZone citizen or visitor, whatever you want to call them. My time in this metaverse should produce me,
agreed,
more value. Like, and whatever that value is, if it's NFTs, if it's ERC20 tokens, if it's social value, whatever. I don't know. Agreed. There's going to be different like value mechanisms in the future, but we shouldn't expect people to show up and then leave with nothing and like they're not going to come back.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of other things in the world where they could do that and that are way more engaging, entertaining, just because of. That's legacy. That's the legacy world. I'm talking about things like PlayStation, things like Xbox, things like Facebook, things like Twitter. We already spend all our time on those platforms, and we get nothing in return other than like crippling depression and shit like that.
Yeah, right.
But so those things have our attention like naturally. Like we can't separate from that stuff.
You know what? There's no reason why Decentraland can't exist on the PlayStation and Xbox.
True.
Right? We just have to build it. And we have to build some sort of interface because PlayStation and Xbox, they're not going to support Web3. So that how do you pay for stuff? While you're playing the game, right?
Yeah.
So there's going to be some sort of interface where it shows some QR code. You take your phone with your private key, you scan the QR code, and then you pay for a transaction like that.
Or we just MetaZone becomes that platform.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's always what I've had envisioned.
That's true.
Ideally, MetaZone becomes the gateway for people to actually game in the metaverse without even understanding they're in the metaverse. They're just playing games.
Yeah, it would be like, oh, I see you're playing on the PlayStation, and oh, I see you want to buy one of the Corona Zombie weapons. Let me display this QR code so that you can take your phone and pay for it.
Yeah, some shit like that.
And then that's it.
Yeah. But yeah, naturally you want MetaZone or whatever platform it is that gets, that gets adoption to be the gateway for an actual gamer to come play a game, and all the crypto stuff is happening on the back end without much actual user input, but the platform is managing all that for them. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they know these games that are hosted on this platform, I'm earning money playing them.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
So,
talking about money, the one thing that was interesting about the conversation with Splinterlands was that I think a majority of the transactions are fiat based. I mean, obviously, in the background, it gets converted into crypto.
Yeah. Well, I think the way they do it, right, is they have an off-chain coin, credits or some shit.
Right.
So you spend PayPal money, which is fiat,
dollars,
to buy tokens, and then
it's off-chain transactions. Yeah.
What do you do with these tokens again?
You pay for cards.
Yeah, you just buy cards,
right?
And then you can convert this to crypto too, I guess. So, I guess the off-chain coins act as that bridge. You could do anything.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. I mean, Pokemon Go has this.
Okay. Yeah.
So
true.
it's. I mean, World of Warcraft, they had gold.
Yeah.
Right. You can buy gold with.
Well, you couldn't.
You couldn't. Yeah.
Off the black market, you could.
Yeah. True.
The only way to get gold in their game was to earn it.
Yeah, mine it.
Exactly. Mine it with your time.
Yeah.
That's why it became actually valuable to people who were willing to spend fiat for that shit, dude.
That's true.
It was tough.
Man,
we need more of that.
I've always wanted to get back into an RPG game, but it just takes so much time. So I don't even think about it.
Yeah, they're not even that good anymore, to be honest. Yeah. MMORPGs are kind of dead as a genre right now, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Why is that?
I don't know. Other genres just took its place. Right now, everything that's
what's that arena game?
Fortnite and Minecraft and shit like that. That's not
Battle Royale. That's what it's called.
Yeah, and these open sandbox type worlds. That's what's popping right now. That's why you see Sandbox hopping on that train.
We can do a Battle Royale in the PvP.
We sure can, dude.
Where you jump in and you have to go find the weapon in order to kill people.
Yeah, some type of Hunger Games type scenario.
That's right. Damn. And then we can create that same game and then constrict the arena, make it smaller.
Oh yeah,
dude, that'd be fun.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah,
if we actually have an opportunity to do something like this.
Yeah, that's true.
Very soon.
We do.
So that's the next phase. We're gonna game plan all this stuff, future game modes and how to make CZ better. And then we got weapons on the way. We gotta actually figure out how to deliver on these weapons.
Yeah.
All the while building these smart contracts,
Right.
So
all right.
A lot on the list.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you follow us on the Block Runner at Twitter. What did I say? Follow us on Twitter at the Block Runner.
Yeah, follow MetaZone too.
And MetaZone.io.
Yeah.
And make sure you just comment on our YouTube channel if you have any clarifications that we missed on Splinterlands or anything that we talked about Ethereum 2.0.
Yeah, we really butchered the fuck out of Taurian.
Yeah, we
shouldn't even try to talk about it. You just totally skipped over all the lore. Fuck this lore.
Well, the lore is not important in blockchain. Remember that?
Dude, I love lore, dude.
Lore sucks compared to making money.
Yeah, I know. Ultimately, the lore ain't gonna sell shit.
Yeah,
it just makes the game feel more gamey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But so thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, we're out. Deuce.